I technically started my social media journey right after I graduated high school. So I started filming like that summer while I was transitioning from graduating high school to going to college. So if you were to go to my YouTube channel and go all the way down to the oldest videos, you see me with orange skin, bleach blonde hair, sitting in my pink and orange bedroom at my parents' house. So that's how I started my social media journey. And I am thankful to say that like I'm one of the few people that started social media way back when, before it was really a thing. Like the people I watched on social media back then were like Juicy Star 007, J Loves Mac, Kalel Cullen. When I was a young girl, we used to have, I'm 30 years old. When I was a kid, we still had house phones. We still had computers that were plugged into the wall. So we had like the house computer. And my grandma's house had a house computer. So whenever I was at my grandma's house, I had more leisure to be on the computer. All of my free computer time, I used to spend looking up products about hair. So this is how, like, all of this goes back to how I started my social media journey. So I have naturally curly hair. You're not seeing any of it right now because my hair is dirty and it's been brushed and slept on and sweated on. So this is not even my natural hair. My natural hair is curly. So of course, in my age in high school, we hated curly hair. So I used to constantly look up like Paul Mitchell Sleek to Straight, thinking that these were like miracle products that were going to change my life. So all I did in my spare time on that home plug-in computer was Google hair products and read reviews of them. I think that's probably how I discovered YouTube, I would assume. I don't have a direct memory of like my first YouTube video or anything like that. My first direct memory of this is me Googling products and reading product reviews. Eventually, I must have stumbled upon social media. I really don't even remember, but I know that like J Loves Mac 1 I used to watch. I know I used to watch Juicy Star 007. I'm trying to think of who else I used to watch. Oh, there was Claudia Salewski. Way back in the day. She's like a model, she's like an actress now. I used to watch her when she lived with her parents. So like way back in that day, is kind of when I started developing an interest in beauty and the social media stuff. After I graduated high school, I decided to start filming videos. So I was making like story times about my first trip to New York City. I was putting in hair extensions. I was doing like anything I could think of, like talking videos, like just random stuff, because I had no idea what I wanted to do or what I was supposed to do. And like my first makeup tutorial was one of those videos where you sped it up like × 5 and there was no words, no music, no product list. It was just like sped up, like putting makeup on. I had a boyfriend at the time who was so supportive. He bought me my first camera. It was a blue Sony camcorder, and maybe it was after he got me that camera. I can't remember. I had an iPhone and I used to literally take a headband and take my iPhone in my college dorm. I would move the lamp over to my bed and I would like take a headband and like wrap it around my iPhone onto the lamp. And that's how I would film videos in my dorm room. And then we moved into our first apartment, college apartment. And that's when I finally invested in the Canon, or whatever, the Canon 70D. It became like really dark and stressful for me during those college years. That's when I developpt my OCD, or like my OCD maybe that had always been there became triggered and there was like an eruption. I was graduating, starting a master's degree, graduating a master's degree. A bunch of crazy things happened during this time, and this is where like the end of my social media career happened. I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I went on to get my master's degree in school counseling. My mom would really stress me out all the time, telling me like such an anxious wreck about it, that it took all of the fun out of doing social media. I started my career as a school counselor. I had a very, very, very abusive boss. It just stressed me out. I was so stressed and anxious. I also went through a breakup of that 7-year relationship. All of these different things were happening, and it was just horrible. So you would see, if you were to scroll through my old YouTube videos, like they just dwindled. And I used to post 3 videos a week in college, and then it went down to like 1 video a week, and then it went down to 2 videos a month, and then it went down to 1 video a month. I had so much resentment, guys, because social media has always been my passion. I loved doing it. I had always loved doing it. I never wanted to stop doing it, but I was kind of taught, like, you go down this path, you get your degree, you do what you need to do, and you don't jeopardize anything, you know, And so I resented everything about all of it. What I ended up doing was privating all of my YouTube videos because I was so sick over it, and I was like mourning the loss of my social media journey so much that I didn't want those videos to even be public because it was just a reminder of the loss. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to pretend like this life never existed because it's too painful to see it. By the time I finally landed at the position that I have now, I've been here for 3 years. I started in 2022, and finally being in a place where I actually have bosses that fully support me and respect me like a normal person again, combined with, you know, me just developing as a person, blah, 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 whatever. I finally decided like it was time to do the social media thing again, because that is something that never went away. It was in here 24/7. Like, I am meant to do it, and I was always meant to do it, and I will always be meant to do it, and it never left my brain, you guys. Like, I cannot express to you, like, it never left my brain. Like, putting out content and like having a relationship with viewers, it is just everything to me, and it always has been. So it's always been there, like this little thing gnawing at me, like, you're not living the life you're supposed to be living. So I finally found myself in a position where I felt like I could do it again. I restarted my social media career in March of 2024. Filming this video in January of 2026. And I started it on TikTok. Short form content was new. Music over videos was new. I had no idea what was going on. So, ew, if you ever see the old videos of me, cringe. I was just posting whatever. Very cringe, like trends, like lip singing. Like, I just didn't, anything. I just didn't know what I was doing. So in September of 2024 is when I was like, all right, I can't just keep posting these random videos. Let me just start making makeup videos. That's a safe place to start. That is when Nyx dropped the Lip IV. That was my first TikTok videos of makeup that went viral. And I started doing my makeup reviews. In December of 2024 is when my right retina detached and I had to have eye surgery. I just started taking TikTok seriously, and I had just gained my first 10,000 followers in November of 2024. Locked the fuck in, and before I had that eye surgery, I pre-filmed 30 videos because I was like, okay, that is at least enough to post 1 video a day. So I committed to posting 1 video every single day. And it's funny because now that seems like nothing, right? Like, I post a bunch of videos every day, but in the start of my journey, it was a big deal to post 1 video every day. So, and I also told myself I was gonna vlog my eye surgery, so that would also be another video every single day, which I did do. Guys, I have a health and surgery playlist on my page if you ever want to go look at that. I think it's one of the best series I've ever done, is my eye surgery vlog. I'll never forget March of 2025. In March of 2025, I was at 22,000 followers by then, okay? 22,000 followers. Something happened at my job. So all I will say is it became a topic of discussion at work in March of 2025. Through that discussion, I was heavily supported by my superiors at work. It triggered everything in me when my social media became a topic of conversation at this current job. It felt scary. It triggered me. Every emotion that you could think of. I was supported 100% by the people that matter. It just felt like a weight, like it felt like 10 years worth of weight lifted off my shoulders. It was like a crash and then lift, right? Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Everything's about to go, and then lift. So when that happened, it ended up becoming a positive thing, because now it was like, okay, now it's out. Now it's out and it's supported. So now I don't have anything to worry about. You know what I mean? And I was a little bit pissed, right? I was a little bit pissed at the other people, right? Like the other people that made it a topic at work. So I combined all of that in March of 2022. I could go to my analytics right now. I'll include a screenshot and just shot right up. Okay. But back then, like, this is showing over the course of a year, but back then, like, if you could just look at those 6 months, it literally was like straight up. In March, I had 22,000 subscribers. By June, I had 100,000. And that's because I used all of it. The negative, the positive, I used all of it to fuel myself into just putting out more content. Started posting three times a day. Summer came along. I have worked summer school every single summer for my entire career. Not only do I have a master's degree in school counseling, I actually had also gone on to get my master's degree in building and district administration in New York State. If you know, that is the highest degree that you can get for K through 12 education in New York State, to become a building level principal or a superintendent. I have that certification. Made the decision to take summer school off for summer of 2025. And it was one of the most difficult decisions that I ever made, because again, the OCD, the way I was raised, you follow the path, you go up the ladder, you do what you need to do. I knew that that was a pivotal moment for me. If I was going to take this social media seriously, I needed to focus on it full time over the summer. And that's what I decided to do. It made me nauseous. I almost threw up. I felt like I was doing something wrong when I rescinded my acceptance of the summer school administrative position. But it was the best decision I ever made in my life. So summer of 2025, I posted 7 to 10 videos a day. I posted 7 to 10 videos a day, and I went live 3 times a week, and I built my channel all the way up to, well, here we are. It's been 6 months since summer. We went from 90,000 to 150. Also started posting on YouTube and started posting on Instagram. My YouTube is now at 105,000. My Instagram is about to hit 100,000. It has been a journey, okay? It's actually surreal, especially because this is specifically to YouTube. That's what makes this more surreal and more of a full circle moment, because I started my social media career on YouTube. This is the other thing I didn't tell you guys. Back then, when I was on YouTube, it was when YouTube wasn't a thing. So I had gotten up to 65,000 subscribers on YouTube back then. That was a big deal back then. You know what I'm saying? I had people coming up to me at the bars when I was in college. Oh my God, I watch your YouTube videos. In Buffalo at the bar. 65,000 YouTube subscribers. It was a big deal back then. When I quit YouTube and I privated all my videos, I lost 10,000 followers, or 15,000. So my dead, like, private YouTube account went down to 50 or 55,000 when I started posting on YouTube in like January of 2025. And what do we have? We have, congratulations on your subscriber milestone. We're honored to take part in recognizing your achievement and want your experience to be exceptional. This award was inspected and packaged with great care by Rick. Thank you, Rick. If your award was damaged during shipping or you have any questions, there's a contact thing. Can you see? Here's the letter. So this says, do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th or your 1000th? Chances are you do, and we know that you'll definitely remember your 100,000th subscriber. Your fans may have found you while searching YouTube, or learned about you through a friend, or maybe you showed up as a recommended video. No matter how they came to your channel, your audience stayed and their numbers increased because of you and the community you've built. We're proud to honor your impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with the Silver Creator Reward. Congratulations. We know that you have many more stories to share with your community, and we know that your fans can't wait for you to amaze them even more with your commitment and creativity. So keep creating, keep building. We can't wait to see what you'll do next, and we're here to support you along the way. And who knows, when you reach your 1,000,000th subscriber, we might just write to you and ask, do you remember your 100,000 subscriber? Yours sincerely, Neil Mohan, YouTube CEO. I'll let you guys look at it first. There's the play button. Did they spell my name right? Cute. So here's what it looks like. It says, presented to Kelsey Alfred for passing 100,000 subscribers. And this is what it looks like on the back if you wanted to hang it up. It is hella light, like literally so light. I'm pretty sure, I have to look at my sister. So my sister has one, an old one. I'm pretty sure they were way heavier, I think. They were bigger and heavier, but whatever. You know what I mean?